Hey guys, it's Jeremy here on Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What I have today, guys, is another album review. This week was a really highly anticipated album for me. It's the latest from Wraith. They're a band formed in 2016 from Indiana. They're a blackened speed / thrash metal band. They're on Prosthetic Records is the label, and their themes include religion, war, violence, and death. And this is their fourth studio album, following up their last album in 2021 entitled Undo the Chains, which I fucking love that album. It was number 2 or 3 on my year-end list. Really made a mark on me, and I really love it. Still listen to it all the time today. And the new album is called Fueled by Fear. It was just released on June the 28th through Prosthetic Records again. 14 tracks in total, 45 minutes in length, almost 46. And let's begin with the artwork. Really killer artwork on this one. Really bright colors, really vibrant, really love it. Really cool looking logo with the scythe from the Grim Reaper. And just a really cool looking album cover. I really like it. I like the colors, it really pops, really grabs your attention. And yeah, going into this album, guys, is pretty much what I expected. A continuation of the last album. Just a riff fest from top to bottom. Just countless riffs throughout this album and leads and melodies and like groove. It's just fun to listen to. Everything you love about heavy metal. Super catchy riffs, super heavy riffs. Some really banger mid-paced songs, some really thrashing, fast-paced stuff. And then Blackwood vocals over the top. The number 1 track, Asylum, was like a 2-minute instrumental. I'm not really big on instrumentals, as you probably know from watching my reviews. But this one had a really cool riff in it and really cool kind of composition. So it was kind of cool to listen to, but overall I'm not really into instrumental openers or intros. And then the second track was the title track, Fueled by Fear. Really good opening track, really good mid-pace, bangers that kind of sped up as it went along. Really good solos, really good guitar work on this song. And the vocals were really cool, had a cool little kind of reverb on it. That goes into a shorter song called Horses and Hounds. Pretty catchy song, really good riffs again. Pretty memorable song. Not my favorite from the album, but pretty good. Shame in the Suffering, number 4, or Shame in Suffering, I should say. Another 3-minute banger. Just really good tune, really catchy chorus. Crazy riffs again, get your head banging. The riffs in this album are so infectious. It's just a perfect example, guys, of less is more. You don't have to have super crazy complex riffs. They can just be simplistic and to the point. Nice galloping heavy riff that really get your head banging and just fun to listen to. It doesn't have to be complex, and these guys just do it perfectly. Kind of in the same vein as bands like Midnight, Knife, Toxic Holocaust, things like that. Just really straight up banger songs with catchy riffs and just hit to the point, short songs, that kind of thing. And some other standout tracks for me. Code Red was a banger, number 5. Really good tune on that one. Really high energy. Really epic chorus on that one. Really liked it. Memorable song. Really good riffs as well. Warlord opened up with number 7 with this really cool kind of bass intro, which I wasn't really expecting. And it had kind of a more ominous, kind of darker vibe to it, but I really dug it. It's a really cool song. Merchant of Death and then Heathen's Touch were just 2 crazy fast-paced bangers from beginning to end. Just thrash, pure, more in the heart, crossover, thrash kind of vibe of it. Really thrashy riffs, just relentless all the way through. Super high energy and high tempo. Really, really good songs. I love those 2 songs. Hell's Canyon was a pretty catchy song. The chorus was good, but it wasn't quite a standard track for me compared to some of the others. Vulture was a 2-minute song, just kind of a quick banger, just to kind of keep the tempo up and keep the album flowing. But it wasn't quite a standard track for me either, but still pretty good. Shattered Sorrow had a really cool rhythm to it and good pace. Really catchy chorus on this one too. Again, great guitar riffs. Great production on this whole album as well. Truth Decay was a pretty solid song too. I enjoyed that one as well. Really cool solo and like a breakdown. Had a cool little breakdown near the end of it, but it didn't stay too long. It didn't overstay its welcome. And it was just a really cool song. And the last song, The Breaking Wheel, might be probably my favorite song on the album, or maybe it just hit a little bit harder because it was a different change of pace. It was a more mid-pace, had that really kind of grimy, stink face kind of riff to it. It just that kind of riff to it the whole way through. just a more slower mid-paced song, and I just had a really crunchy, ballsy, kind of grimy riff to it. I just love that song. It sounded really good. And then near the end of the song, where the bridge hit, there's like little thrashy speed metal riff kicked in, and then the last part was a little bit higher tempo and kind of closed out more with a bang. So overall, my standout tracks would be the title track, Fueled by Fear. I would say Code Red, Warlord, Merchant of Death, Heathen's Touch, and probably the last track, Breaking Wheel, are the most ones I like the most. The couple songs that weren't the weaker tracks on the album, in my opinion, were Ice Cold Bitch. That's a 2-minute song, and I didn't really like the lyrics on that one. It was kind of simplistic, and I don't think it really needed to be there. And Vulture was just okay, but I had another short song that could have been cut out. But I didn't really dislike any songs on the album. I thought the whole thing was pretty solid. In terms of pros, the production was really good. The guitars were crunchy. The drums really punched hard. You could really hear the kick and the snare really well. The vocals sound cool. They had a really cool reverb on them. Gave it kind of like this ominous, cavernous kind of vibe, kind of evil sounding, blackened vocals. But I found the vocals in the mix to be a little bit too much forward in the mix, and at times it could be distracting from and taking away from the guitar riffs, which I think is the main strength on this album. So if the vocals were a little bit back in the mix, I think it would have been a little bit better. I found them to be a little bit too in your face and a little bit distracting at times. But otherwise, that's my only gripe, really. The length of the album, 45 minutes. For this style of music, I think that's a little long, even though it didn't drag at any point. It went by really quickly. But I think if they took out the intro and instrumental and like 2 tracks to cut off about 6 or 7 minutes, I think that would be overall a little bit better. Just to knock it down to like a 35-minute album, I think would be better for this style of music. But overall, killer album. I wasn't disappointed. It's definitely going to rock up my top 10 list. It's going to shake things up a bit, and we'll see if it lands on there at the end of the year. In terms of a rating, I'm going to give this... It's a pretty good album. I really like it. I'd say a 8.75 out of 10. Really, really strong album. Looking forward to listening to a lot more this weekend. And let me know down below, guys, what your standout tracks were, what you thought of the album. And I loved it. I think it was really good. There's a couple other albums I was looking at reviewing this weekend, so stay tuned for that. I want to look at the new Anvil album and also the new Crystal Viper album I'm considering kind of reviewing as well. So stay tuned for those reviews in the next couple days. And thanks for watching, guys. If there's any other albums you want me to check out or any list you want me to do or any ideas for the channel, always drop comments in below. And thanks for watching, guys. Keep it metal.